Welcome back to the Rasheed Report. Today we'll be talking about something that over the past couple weeks has gotten disrespected more than Meek Mill, the Iran deal. Now currently the deal is under congressional review, and if you've been near a TV at all for the past month, chances are you've probably seen ads like this.
Restrictions end after 10 years. Then Iran could build a nuclear weapon in 2 months. Congress should reject a bad deal. We need a better deal.
Ads like these have dominated the airwaves since the day the historic deal was announced. In fact, since the very first day it was announced, the GOP is bringing the hammer down on this deal, like they're Thor, even though some of them haven't even read it. For instance, here's what Republican Senator Lindsey Graham had to say about the deal.
Don't know all the specifics to this plan.
That's true.
And you yourself haven't read anything,
That's true,
right?
but here...
Yeah, if you're going to go on national television to discuss something you haven't read, at least SparkNote it. And as last week Tonight Show host John Oliver pointed out, he's not the only one who seemingly hasn't read it either.
The deal that we have out there, in my view, from what I know of it thus far, is unacceptable. If, in fact, it's as bad a deal as I think it is at this moment, we'll do everything we can to stop it.
Wait, as bad as you think it is, that is a clear sign that you didn't do the reading. It's like starting a book report. Some of us are of mice, while others are, of course, of men.
In fact, John Boehner's statement right there was so repetitive and filled with very little content that he basically could be the real-life Pert Hapley from Parks and Rec.
I have an update that contains new information. The statement that this reporter has is a question. Today's show begins now. For a female perspective on this scandal, we turn to a woman.
In fact, Pert Hapley could probably represent the entire GOP response to the Iran deal. Watch this. Hey Pert, what would be the best alternative to the Iran deal? And do you think it should be rejected?
I don't know the answer to that, Jennifer, but your tone makes me think, yes.
See what I mean? In fact, nearly a month later, some people still haven't read it. One of those people, unsurprisingly, is Donald Trump, who has said he has seen the deal, quote, broken down in every newspaper you can imagine. And I think I know the deal quite well, because other people, I assume, are, going into it in great detail. However, seconds later, he also states, quote, one thing I have learned is how dishonestly, really dishonest the media is. Wait, hold up. You said just seconds earlier that everything you knew about the Iran deal was from the media, yet now you're saying they're dishonest. This paradoxical behavior probably explains why he said time and time again that the inspections in the Iran deal itself aren't severe, when in fact, they are the most severe the US could have possibly gotten in this scenario. Which brings us to our next segment, the Iran deal for dummies. So the deal comes after months of negotiations with Iran and 6 other world powers. Iran, which has been hit with tough sanctions by the US and UN, has basically been forced to concede 97% of its enriched uranium stockpile, going from 10,000 kilograms to only 200 kilograms, nowhere near close to weaponizable. Now, uranium can be enriched to different levels, and under this deal, it would only be able to be enriched to 3.67%, which is way below the 90% enrichment level needed for a nuclear weapon, even below 20% medical research grade level enrichment. Additionally, they're going to have to give up most of their centrifuges, going from 20,000 to only 5,000. So if one day they decided to build a nuclear bomb, it would take them way longer, at least a year, rather than their current breakout time of 2 months. On top of that, they're put under severe inspections, where inspectors have full access to Iranian nuclear facilities, and will be able to monitor the only 2 mines where Iran can get uranium ore, the fuel required for a bomb, as well as monitor the mills where it's processed. This will keep tabs on every single centrifuge in the country, as well as the centrifuge factories, the machines that could be used to make a centrifuge, even on imports of technology that could be used to build a machine that could be used to build a centrifuge. One nuclear weapons expert, Aaron Stein, said that even if Iran tried to cheat on the deal, the likelihood of getting caught is near 100%. And with 29 nuclear experts writing letters to the White House praising the Iran deal and its astonishing restrictions on Iran nuclear capability, it's kind of hard to argue against them. So, Mr. Trump, the inspections are definitely severe. So the only additional inspection that could be possibly needed is one for your hair.
Immigrants. I'm talking about illegal immigrants. I'm not talking about immigrants. I'm talking about illegals.
On top of that, if Iran still decides to cheat and try to arm themselves with a nuclear weapon, which will take a considerable amount of time to do, the sanctions will immediately snap back into place, and the US as well as other powers gain the right to intervene even militarily if needed. The fact that the US was actually able to get all of this out of the Iran deal is also a testament to just how desperate they are due to the economic sanctions, which have just been crippling their middle class, which is where the CIA predicts the money will likely go to, not state-sponsored terrorism. At the moment, most of the country's budget goes towards routine governance expenses, like salaries for government employees and the cost of social services. There's no reason to believe these priorities will suddenly change now. But even if you take the pessimistic view that Iran will put its money towards nefarious activities, this would still happen even without the Iran deal. But if this deal were to fail, this problem would be made infinitely worse by them having an actual nuclear weapon, which would grant it far more power and military cover than any amount of sanctions relief. Now, the Iran deal may not be perfect, but it's the best deal we could have realistically hoped for. For all those ads saying to get a better deal, there is none. Imagine this is a monopoly trade. This is basically someone giving you Boardwalk and Park Place for Mediterranean and Baltic Avenue. It doesn't matter if they'll build hotels. It's better than them having the potential to build a hotel on Boardwalk. I mean, have you seen the hotel price on that? It's basically a nuke to your savings. Just shut up and take it while you still can, because this won't last forever. This is Zahir Rasheed signing off with the Rasheed Report.
This Dean TV video was made possible in part by Islamic Relief, working together for a better world, and by Guidance Residential, the #1 Islamic home financer in the U.S.